What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with another Destiny 2 Season of the Wish video, and in this one we're getting festive with a preview of the Dawning event for 2023. And so yes, it's time for another seasonal event, and of course another opportunity for Bungie to make a couple of dollars, but as always there'll be a few things to go after inside of this event, including a new weapon, and that's on top of refreshed weapons from previous years, so there's some decent things to look at there, but also we get a new armor set of course, then there'll be an event card as always, but this time around we also get a Dawning Memento. So we'll take a look at that, but also we'll have a great look at some of the cosmetics we'll be able to pick up, featured items for the Eververse store, and a general overview for the event this year. So as always guys, I hope you enjoy this one. Let us know in the comments section any items you plan to grab from the event, but without further delay, let's get into it. And so the Dawning 2023 is due to kick off on the 12th of December, so it'll arrive alongside the weekly reset. And in terms of rewards for the event, initially, we do get the new armor set for this year, so some interesting looking bits right there. Give us your thoughts down below. Safe to say the Dawning armor always has its own flavor. In terms of acquiring the armor though, we'll be able to get them in bundles from the Eververse store, and according to todayindestiny.com, we'll have the option to either purchase the bundle for 1500 silver or 6000 bright dust. So it isn't silver exclusive, but of course, pretty hefty bright dust cost. And let us know down below if you plan to pick up the Dawning armor this year. Otherwise though, as always, we'll get an event card. We're not able to preview all of the items for the event card just yet, but there'll be both the standard and the upgraded version, with the upgrade being purchasable from this store. And the Star Baker title will be available once again, so we can't see all of the gilding options just yet, but the required triumphs include Star Baker to complete event challenges during the Dawning, but also Frozen Doom, where we need to get 400 combatants defeated with snowballs, Reason for the Season, where we need to give Dawning gifts to vendors, of which we need to score 100 points, and then there's Joyous Spirit to spend Dawning Spirit, and we'll need to spend 500 of those, but also Cheerful Destruction to defeat combatants with Dawning weapons, of which we'll need 2,000. And so if you haven't acquired Star Baker previously and you fancy going after it this year, those will be the requirements. And it's worth mentioning as well, there will be some upgrades for the Dawning available on Eva Levante, and these will cost 35 Dawning Spirit, of course the currency for the event. And there's an upgrade that allows us to receive a boon of friendship each day from Eva Levante, another where Dawning bounties reward an additional random ingredient. Then there's Essential Harvest, where Dawning bounties reward a small amount of Dawning Essence. And the gift wrapped exchange ticket, and this unlocks access to the Dawning Engram focusing options. But also there's Limited Exchange ticket, which allows access to limited gift exchange focusing options. And finally, there's Perky Presents, where Dawning weapons have a chance to drop with an additional perk in the left column, and Perkier Presents, where Dawning weapons have a chance to drop with an additional perk in the right column. So if you're hunting down weapons, there could be a couple of useful upgrades there. And also for weapons this time around, we'll get access to a Dawning Memento. This will probably be a rank reward for the event. And as you can see right here, it unlocks this sort of Frosty skin for weapons, which is cool. In terms of weapons though, there will be a brand new one, which is actually an arc aggressive frame glaive, and it's called Albedo Wing. And in the first trade slot, it's able to roll Grave Robber, as well as Beacon Rounds, where final blows with the weapon grant projectiles tracking, and dealing further damage extends the duration. So tracking projectiles on a glaive could be interesting, but there's also replenishing gauges, immovable object, keep away, clown cartridge, and field prep in the first trade slot, with the second trade slot able to get golden tricorn, demolitionist, lead from gold, as well as deconstruct, attrition orbs, high impact reserves, and close to melee. So there could be a couple of decent rolls right there on that. Also, it'll get the Dawning Surprise Origin trait, where rapidly defeating targets awards a Dawning gift. But also we'll see the return of the Cold Front SMG, this is an aggressive frame, but additionally we'll get the Glacier Chasm, which is a void high impact frame fusion rifle. And if you're curious about the weapon rolls for all of the weapons, I'll link LightGG down below where you can look them up. But we'll also see the return of the Avalanche, which is a solar adaptive frame machine gun, as well as the Stay Frosty Pulse rifle, which is a stasis lightweight frame pulse. And then of course there is the Zephyr Sword, which is a stasis adaptive frame. And it looks like we'll get access to all 6 of those weapons this year, so certainly plenty of sandbox related rewards to go after. And let us know if you plan to go after the new Dawning Glaive or any of the other weapons this year down in the comment section. But very finally right here, for a quick look at some of the Eververse items for this year, we can't actually preview many of the brand new ones yet, as images and renders of them don't appear to be in the database, but available for Bright Dust, we will see the return of the Infinite Gift Vex Mythoclast ornament, as well as the Monte Carlo ornament, the Merry Maker, and the Cheer Spreader ornament for the Risk Runner. And when I first glanced at that name, I've seen it before, but I genuinely thought it said Cheek Spreader for a moment. All of the weapon ornaments though will be available for 700 silver or 1250 Bright Dust during the event. But on top of that, we'll see ghost shells like the Confection customary shell returning from previous years, but there'll also be a new one called the Icy Elegance shell, and another new one called the Cygnus shell. But on top of that, we'll get the little Helper shell as well, and these will be available for 2850 Bright Dust. Then we'll see return of things like the Mirthmobile Sparrow, that's the very tiny Dawning Sparrow. There's another new one called the Divine Messenger, and the super cool Moto, as well as the Polar Prancer, and all of the Sparrows will be 2500 Bright Dust when they're featured. And of course these will run throughout the course of the event, so we'll be seeing them on different weeks. Then for ships, there are things like the Silverwing Kestrel, plus a couple of new ones like the Filigree Rover and the Ice Chime ship as well. Plus we'll see the return of Sleepless Flight, and all of the ships will be 2000 Bright Dust. Plus it looks like we'll get a couple of new shaders too, so things like the Dawning Mirth shader, there's another called Sharkbite, plus we'll see Celestia, Justified Cobalt, Noble Prime, and Aniline Shark. Plus no doubt there'll be a bunch of silver exclusive items, and that's on top of things like the event card rewards and unlocks, so plenty of cosmetic items to go through, and I'll try and do a silver versus Bright Dust video specifically for Dawning as well. The only other quick mention right here, not related immediately to the Dawning, but another small sort of Eververse event that we'll get later on will be the Lunar New Year celebration, and this won't roll around until February 2024, I don't believe, but we have seen it in previous years where Bungie offer a Lunar New Year gift, and last year I believe we got some Bright Dust for free a couple of times in a package right here. But on top of that, there is a Lunar New Year celebration bundle, and last year it included the ornament Leporine Jubilation for the Risk Runner. That will be included this year once again, but on top of that, there's a new exotic sparrow called the Firecracker, and a ghost shell, which is called the Auspicious shell, and then there'll be the Lunar Omen ship, and finally, Herald of the Spring, which is an ornament for the two-tailed fox. And apparently that is the hidden ornament that we can see in collections in the exotic ornament tab at the moment, and so all of those will drop as part of that Lunar New Year celebration bundle. And I'd seen a couple of questions about it, so I figured it was worth a quick mention, but of course this will happen a few weeks after the Dawning concludes. But for today guys, ahead of the return of the event this year, I figured a little preview could be interesting for some players. I know not everyone's super excited by the seasonal events, but let us know down in the comment section if you plan to dive in this year. As always though, I hope you found the video useful today, and if you have, a rating below very much helps us out on the channel, and be sure as well to get subscribed so I can keep you posted with more Destiny content. But otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in, and I will catch you guys very soon.
Throw a snowball for your friend Eva. Here, take this, and have fun.
Excellent.
That'll be fun.
Happy dawning.